Your time starts now.
Chef, your dish today must include instant macaroni and cheese, Morel mushrooms,
Wait for it.
canned clams in clam juice, and powdered sugar donuts. Chef?
I don't know if she realizes that she has to eat whatever I make out of her powdered sugar donuts and canned clams.
And your time starts now.
With the instant mac and cheese, my options are to either use the elbow macaroni or the powdered cheese mix, so I have to go with the pasta.
How will Chef Eric transform these ingredients and bring freshness to this dish?
Morel mushrooms I have not worked with before, but I know that with shiitake mushrooms I like them sauteed in a little oil and thyme, so I'm gonna try and use them the same way.
I can't say these ingredients are all bad. The canned clams, sure, it's challenging, but it's a great ingredient to add to things like soups, pastas. Morel mushrooms are really commonly grown in the springtime. They're really considered a delicacy because it's so hard to find these mushrooms. Lots of people go morel hunting, and it's a really short season and it's really hard to be able to find them in the ground. Because it's so hard to find them, sometimes they can go for quite a hefty price tag in the grocery stores.
There isn't actually much clam meat in that can. I'm just gonna throw them in with the seasoned mushrooms there at the end.
So far, Chef Eric has the morels sauteing with some thyme in the pan, and he just rinsed off the canned clams.
Since I have to use the elbow macaroni, I know I want to elevate that a little bit. So I'm gonna make a quick white sauce.
I think the most challenging ingredient in this basket by far is those powdered donuts. The powdered sugar donuts are surprisingly sweet, and not really sure how he would be able to incorporate that in an entree dish. It looks like Chef Eric is tearing off all of the sugar parts on the donut and only saving the breaded parts. Looks like he might be using it as some type of breading. Eating up all the ingredients. It looks like Chef Eric added flour to the breaded part of the donuts and incorporated that in some butter to make a roux. Seems like we're gonna get a pasta. He has the morel sauteing, the roux going. Seems like Chef Eric really has it under control this time. 10 minutes down, Chef, you have 20 minutes remaining. Seems like Chef Eric already has most of the major components of his dish completed. I wonder if he's gonna be the one twirling his thumbs for the last 10 minutes of this round.
To my white sauce, I'm just adding a little bit of white pepper to preserve that nice color. For the macaroni, my plan is to then finish it in the oven with a broil, so I know I want to undercook my pasta.
I'm not sure if these are stale or if that's just how they taste.
I mean, really, this basket kind of really just screams pasta. With the clams and the morel mushrooms. The mushrooms are supposed to have a really earthy flavor, so it'll be interesting to have that paired with the clams in a pasta. I just hope Chef Eric knows not to overcook those macaroni elbows because they get soft and soggy really fast.
My white sauce, I'm just finishing with a very large amount of butter. The butter's also helping cool down the sauce, and then I'm rinsing the pasta in cold water to prevent it from cooking any further.
Chef, you only have 10 minutes remaining.
I don't want to just put cheese on top and broil that because then it's just soft goo from top to bottom. So I know we've got some homemade croutons and I just roughly crushed them up to mix in with the cheese.
It looks like Chef Eric crushed up some croutons. I think he's gonna try to add some crunch in this dish, which is really smart to add some texture.
I tasted my sauce by itself. It's good, it's rich, it's just not much else. So I added a bit of thyme and oregano.
8 minutes left, Chef. 8 minutes left and Chef Eric has already started plating? Oh, Havarti cheese.
Havarti cheese wouldn't have been my first choice. It was that or some sharp cheddar.
Havarti cheese is a really creamy and delicious cheese that's used often for wine pairing, but it looks like he's currently adding it to the breadcrumbs. It seems like he's going to be baking the pasta. Five minutes remaining. Chef Eric has his pasta in the oven on broil, and it looks like he's just cleaning up, taking his time.
It's in God's hands now.
Ooh, there was a burning smell coming from the broiler. It looks like now Chef Eric has to pick out the burnt parts and hope it doesn't ruin his dish.
The top of the pasta got a little darker than I thought, but it's not bad, it's salvageable.
2 minutes left and he's running back out to the garden.
My dish is looking nice, but it's also looking a little one note. I wanted to add a little fresh herb on top and then a little bit more of that aged Parmesan.
3, 2, 1, hands up.
That was a tough basket. I really feel like my hands were tied for most of it, but I think the flavors were there, so it is what it is. Chefs, today for you I've made a humble clam and morel pasta with white sauce. Please enjoy.
You were not light-handed with salt. Did you taste the breadcrumbs before you put them on top?
I've tasted the croutons by themselves, but not necessarily the breadcrumb mixture.
So the first bite, it was just like a salt punch in the face. Luckily for you, it did not permeate through to the rest of the pasta, so I can still eat the parts on the bottom. I really wanted that crunchy part because it was really what I was looking forward to, the crunchy texture. I do appreciate that it was there because it adds texture to this pasta.
It was intended to be eaten as one bite and not just the crispy topping by itself. I was hoping that the richness underneath would balance that out.
The pasta underneath by itself has a lot of salt. So then when you put more salty things on top of it as one bite, it's just like, I got punched in the face with salt. It's like I feel my blood pressure rising. That being said, it's amazing how you transformed these ingredients. I don't taste the powdered donuts at all, but it's in here. I saw you use it, which was incredible. Along with the morel and the clams. This definitely feels like a very homey Italian pasta dish. I can't tell if it's the thyme or rosemary. No, oregano.
Keep guessing.
I think this dish is too thyme heavy. It's just like salt and thyme is all that I taste in here. I don't think the pasta is as rich as you thought it would be. I think you could have benefited from a little more richness. Something like this, it just reminds me more of a baked mac and cheese dish, and I kind of wish you maybe added more cheese, more cream. I know you added a lot of butter, but I think it needed more cream. But I think you were successful in making these ingredients shine. I'm ready for my judgment. For creativity, you get a 4 out of 5 for how you were able to transform these ingredients into one cohesive dish. For presentation, 5 out of 5. It was beautifully presented. I think this looked like an amazing composed dish. And for taste, I would have to say 2 out of 5, just because I cannot get over the amount of salt in here. It's kind of like the lingering in the back of my throat kind of salt.
Can I taste it? All right.
The tops are admittedly a bit salty, but I don't think the actual pasta itself is too salty. Judges can't get it right 100% of the time.
So that's a total of 11 points. You still win.